what's up, everybody? This is Dr. Regina Bradley, and this is Outkasted Conversations, number, I won't say it's 29. We up there. We out here. We up there. So this episode is kind of dope. It's like an all women's panel. You know, that's been my thing as of late. And we are talking with the ladies of SOLHOT, and they are led by the one and only and the fabulous Dr. Ruth Nicole Brown, Associate Professor of Education at University of Illinois. What's going on, ladies? How you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Y'all got the bright hair going on and the sunshine and things.
Yes.
I love it. So you know what y'all got to do to get into the club? How did you become outcasted?
Yes. Who wants to go first?
I'll start.
Okay.
I became outcasted. Southern Playalistic was my outcasted moment. I'm originally from St. Louis, and yeah, that definitely was the Cadillac music. So I became outcasted.
Okay.
I think I was kind of brought in by association. So freshman year of high school, my best friend, she had just started driving, and so we were playing Outkast. She was in control of the music because I was kind of a late girl with the music. So she made all the options, and Outkast was high on the list of playing as we rode around the neighborhood because we were so cool. So that's how
That's the rule, though. If you're driving, you're in charge of the radio and the
right.
That's what that was high school driving 101, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
It's still it.
Ruth, how you come out there?
Still that way. I became outcasted Southern Playalistic from jump. First single. That was definitely our soundtrack in high school. I was driving my grandfather's Cadillac, so I thought they just made the whole CD for me.
That was it.
Cool. So you all are part of a really dope organization, SOLHOT, right? Why don't you tell the folks who are unfamiliar what that stands for and what y'all do?
Okay. You want to take that?
Okay, so SOLHOT stands for Saving Our Lives, Hear Our Truths, and we currently work in one of the local middle schools, and we work with middle school girls, so 6th through 8th grade. We just had a group graduate, and basically we come every week for about 6 to 8 weeks and meet with the girls and really just have conversations similar to this that they are interested in, and trying to bring in some things that are going around or going on for them in their community. You know, what's the hottest thing in middle school? How can we incorporate what we experienced as girls and still experience, and have conversations and really do projects at the end to show for what we've done. So whether it be a blurb book or a photo exhibit, things like that, performances, just to show them also and reinforce the conversations that we've had, and for them to see that we're listening and they are being heard in this space.
I think that's dope. So salute to you ladies for doing that such important work, especially these days where there always seems to be something going on with our black girls. They need some kind of outlet to talk about it, right? But you guys have done or are doing a really dope project called Jazzy Belle Retell, right? And I think that's kind of dope. And you know, we had to talk about it on Outkasted Conversations. Where did that idea come from? Why do you feel like Jazzy Belle is still relevant in how we kind of interact with our girls today when it came out, you know, almost 20 years ago now?
Well, first we think, I want to say before we get to Jazzy Belle that this Outkasted Conversation is the dopest idea. Outkast is so profound, I think, especially on my life. I speak for myself, and we are now in SOLHOT also making original music. So the three of us are part of We Levitate, which is a girls band, if you want to call it that. Got to make a band, right? I don't know. We haven't defined it yet, but we do digital raw. We making music. And so Jazzy Belle is actually part of a love letter trilogy. All three of us wrote different songs about why we love each other, how we love each other, what we love about the other one. And so Jazzy Belle Retell was Queen Jessica's song that she wrote.
Yeah, I actually like the song Jazzy Belle, the original, but it was one of those things where I would hear that song, and the older I got and the more I listened to it, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm Jazzy Belle, and this doesn't really seem like a song that's really nice about me. And so I was like, right, what do you do when you don't like it?
Mm.
Make something else. Do a retell. That's what we do in SOLHOT. That's the SOLHOT way, the Black girlhood way. And so when we came up with this, let's write some love letters. Let's talk about these things that we love about ourselves and about each other. That was how Jazzy Belle, the retell, came about.
So can y'all tell us a little bit about so there's 3 love letters, right? There's 3 of y'all. So are there 3 love letters that make up the track? Can you tell us about what the love letters are about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. So I wrote and sung This Is, which is kind of like I guess it's a cover of This Is for the Lover and You. So it's about the queen and the goat, so Dr. B and Jessica. And basically how it tells a story about how I met them and mostly the things that they've taught me while we've been in a relationship with one another. And that kind of just came to me. I just heard the snippet, or that song, the original song was on my mind, and I was like, oh, how can I remix this to talk about Dr. B and Jessica, and basically how we've just grown so much and how they support me and have taught me so many things. And even sometimes when they throw shade, it's possible, because if so that song, my song, This Is, does speak to Dr. Brown's song, For You, in one of the lines. So just, it's interesting to me how unintentionally the songs really speak and link to one another, and it's those common threads through the whole mixtape project.
Oh.
That just happened coincidentally or intentionally, we just all on one same vibe.
And I think I did my song for Queen Jessica and Portia Renee, covering Tribe's Bonita Applebum, classic, another track. And I think that writing love letters to each other, particularly as Black women, as professor, graduate student, is definitely what makes us outcasts in the university where we are now. Showing that kind of love, being upfront and honest about it, talking about it, also talking about the struggles and, as Portia put it, the growth. We definitely keep it outcasted for that. We don't see enough images of Black women loving each other and telling really just the truth about our relationships, especially when you're in an academic environment and it's supposed to be all about the distance, but we are super close and we do love each other. So that is what makes us outcasts. One of the things.
We'll see it.
That was really good.
There are other things that make us outcast.
No, I think that's great, and I do agree. That's kind of outcasting on multiple levels, right? Like the Academy wasn't made for women of color. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple levels to your sentiment, especially the sentiment behind doing a retell of Jazzy Belle. But let's talk about the actual song for a second, because I feel like Jessica, I'm with you. The older that I get and the more that I listen to it, I'm really like, wait a minute.
What? Yeah.
Especially the sample at the end of the song from Goody Mob, right? And it's like, hollering that she got raped. And I'm just like, with all the sexual violence and discussions of assault that are going on and against women of color, you know what I'm saying? More recently, Janae Palmer Rice, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It makes me think about, how that song is how a lot of people think about young Black women and young Black women's sexuality. What are some of your thoughts about, the messiness of that young Black woman's sexuality and how we address it in hip hop?
Yeah, I think that is the thing that draws me to that song. Because it starts off so beautiful. Oh, yes, I love it like Egyptian. Like, oh, that's so cute. But patriarchy works real funny like that. It sounds good sometimes. And then sometimes you're like, wait a minute. Like, how did that happen? But that's a complete song, right? Like, that's a whole idea. And so I feel like even the, yeah, I would love you if you know, wasn't a hoe or whatever, right? Like, that's still not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, what black girls do we love? What black women do we love?
Yeah, I think
So,
Treva Lindsay calls it melodious misogyny.
mm-hmm.
When it sounds really good, and you're like, but wait, yeah, you're really not uplifting women. You're kind of dissing us. Portia, what do you think? What do you think are some of the ways we can use, Jazzy Belle and think about the messiness of Black women's sexuality today?
I think that Jessica keeps reminding us of the messiness, not just in Jazzy Belle, but related but unrelated to the Rice incident. Jessica wrote a choreo poem, or a poem, to Cassie Perkins, or Cassandra Perkins, Cassie to her homegirls, about her being a victim of domestic violence by an NFL player, but the media chose to focus again on the male perspective and how, this is so bad for them, and we forget about the victim who's lost their lives or have been knocked unconscious, literally. So I think Jessica has written about that, and with the Jazzy Belle Retell that Jessica does, I think she does it so well. And it took Jessica a while to come up with Jazzy Belle Retell. It was like every time we would meet, it's like, well, how's Jazzy Belle Retell looking? Oh, I'm working on it. And so then when she finally came, it was like, wow, okay, next time I'm going to be working on my pieces that long too, so that they can be perfected. In the way she blends the original theme and how she views herself as well as women, and the girls that we work with, it's their truth. It's kind of we have these standards, but the standards are always shifting. So what happens if we just accept women for how they are and who they bring themselves to the table to be? Then we get us drifted on the sky, on a cloud, Jazzy Belle Retell. So I think Jessica has really done a good job at bringing the conversation back to the women who suffer from these misogynistic and patriarchal entities that are in the media as well as music. So I think having a retell and telling a counter story, if you will, while using the same beat is very creative and also powerful for us as women to tell that particular story or speak back to the music that we hear and listen to and love. Because honestly, we do like the music. We enjoy the music. And that's another part of the conversation. We are active in downloading the songs or listening to them on YouTube. But then after a while, it kind of gets old and you're but wait, I do have something to say, although the beat is real catchy. I can make it more catchy with my own lyrics that'll be for me and my homegirls. So not just a love letter for us, but a love letter to the girls we work with, to the women that we've worked with, to the women who we, are now meeting and building relationships with. I think that song speaks to those things.
Ruth, I wanna go to you also because not only SOLHOT, but just this, rethinking about the significance of Jazzy Belle today makes me think about how hip hop, is used as a pedagogical space, but also as a space of healing, which is what you ladies are doing, brilliantly doing with the SOLHOT project. So, what are some of your thoughts on the way that this is actually like a pedagogical healing type thing?
It is, and we, for us, also a very creative thing. I mean, that's one of the things that, one of the reasons why I did fall in love with Outkast was just that they were different. I was different when they came out, and they talked about what difference the South made, what difference they made. Andre, the style, right, was just from the future. And that's something that definitely resonates with us and the work we do with Black girls. I like the way Renina Jarman puts it when she says Black girls are from the future. I mean, we experience that every time it's so hot. Think about being so different from the future is a lot of times people don't even recognize what you're doing. What we're doing is hip hop. participating in hip hop the way we've always participated in it. I mean, we make up new songs and retells riding in the car. We don't necessarily always record it, and we change the lyrics to fit our situations. We don't always record it, but why not? I mean, we got to learn this technology out and retell it. So I see what we're doing not really as like a pedagogical, I mean, yes, that is a part of it, but I just see us first and foremost doing hip hop, being hip hop the way that we always are. And yes, it definitely has implications for how we learn. We've had to master technology. We don't consider ourselves musicians in a form. We definitely not formally trained. So there's an education in this music making for sure. Figuring out SoundCloud, which is now, what we can do, and building relationships with people who have been doing this a lot longer than us, and thinking about how to build it with people who do know music theory and instrumentation, because we are serious. It may not look like hip hop to you, but it's the only hip hop I've ever known. It's like this.
That's dope. Wonderful, wonderful. So why don't you tell the people how they can get in contact with you, where they can hear the Jazzy Belle Retell, if it's out, you know what I'm saying, and all that other good stuff.
It's out. It's out. You can find us. Our Twitter is We Levitate Music, and we post our songs on our Twitter, and we also have conversations. You can go back and look. Like, we have dialogues about each song that we release. When we release it, so you can kind of see like what our process was, how we made the song, why we made the song, and our SoundCloud is soundcloud.com / the next level SOLHOT. So you can look it up that way. And also we have a website, solhot.weebly.com. And so all of that stuff's going to be on there. Yeah.
We got some upcoming shows. We got a couple gigs here locally. We have a little tour that's in the making. So our first stop is Denison in Ohio. We would love to come where you are. So just DM us and have us out, because we definitely, this is a live experience. It's a way for us, we call it doing digital wrongly. So many people want us to replicate SOLHOT. We really not about, you can't replicate the brilliance here, believe that. But we found a way to use music and digital wrongly to create a ritual experience when we perform that is very much SOLHOT, and it's open to everybody. The hip hop heads, everybody be doing they know and remembers at the end of our shows. So we'd love to be where you are. Have us out. In the meantime, look for us here, Champaign, Urbana. It's a lot of outcastedness going on at the moment at this university, and we're right in the mix with all of that. So.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. So we got Tony Blackman, Mahogany Jones, and We Levitate SOLHOT. I'm mad. Thank you ladies so much for coming in and telling us about the important critical work that you're doing. I'm Dr. Regina Bradley. This is Outkasted Conversations. We'll holler at y'all. Y'all be easy.
Thank you.
Thank you.